ready for peace talks. We are not ready to surrender.
Right now at 5:30, Ukraine is vowing to continue to fight. We're going to have the latest on the planned meeting with Russia tomorrow. And in more local news, nearly 24 people are out of their homes after a pair of fires yesterday. How the Red Cross is responding. Plus, a local woman is about to make a lifelong dream come true. We're going to hear her story and her brand new book. That's all coming up at 5:30. Russian President Vladimir Putin is putting his country's nuclear forces on high alert tonight, pointing to what he calls an aggressive statement by the top NATO powers and financial sanctions. As CBS News' Tom Hansen reports, Putin's orders now raise fears about the crisis that is unfolding in Ukraine.
This video from a suburb of Kyiv appears to show a line of Russian tanks and armored trucks bombed out and still smoking, an attempt by Ukrainians to slow Russian troops. Kyiv's mayor says his city of almost 3 million is completely surrounded, and new satellite imagery shows hundreds of Russian military vehicles only about 40 miles away. Sunday, street fighting broke out in Ukraine's second largest city, Kharkiv, forcing a children's hospital to relocate to an underground bomb shelter. Overnight, Russian forces blew up Ukrainian airfields and fuel facilities. Russian President Vladimir Putin ordered his nuclear forces to prepare for action. Simultaneously, Russia said it was ready to enter peace talks with Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky. Zelensky agreed, but vowed not to give up an inch of Ukraine's territory. The European Union has offered to send help.
The European Union will finance the purchase and delivery of weapons and other equipment to a country that is under attack.
Tens of thousands of Ukrainians are trying to escape, crowding onto trains, driving towards safe borders only to wait in long lines or walking miles through the night. This Ukrainian boy teared up, explaining he and his mother left his father behind to fight. Some Ukrainian men living outside their home country are returning.
I just can't sleep calmly. I woke up and I cried.
Tensions are also high in Russia. In protests around the country, Russians chanted no to war, and police in riot gear made arrests. In St. Petersburg and Moscow, there are long lines at ATMs following word that some Russian banks have been expelled from SWIFT, a high-security network that connects banks around the world. Tom Hansen, CBS News, New York.
An update tonight from the UN. Nearly 200,000 refugees have already crossed the border from Ukraine. Poland is taking on thousands of them, with towns already providing donations and shelter to Ukrainians. A church with ties to our local Ukrainian community is praying for peace in Eastern Europe. Father Gregory Jansen says that his congregation on Regent Street is a diverse population, which includes Ukrainians and Russians. He says while some people are upset and sad, his message has been to stay hopeful and loving. He also wants them to draw distinctions between Vladimir Putin's policies and people who are Russian.
Conversation, prayer, and again, you know, a way to maybe channel some of their concerns to be able to help in a material sense. But so it's kind of a broad, you know, fairly broad approach.
Jensen's congregation is hosting a special service to pray for Ukraine tomorrow night on Madison's East Side. And there are ways that you can help out right here in Wisconsin, but you should be aware of where you're donating. The Better Business Bureau says you need to watch out for typos and read up on which charities you are donating to. We've got a full list of ways that you can help and the latest developments from Eastern Europe on our Channel 3000 News app. It's free and available in the App Store. To weather now, here's a live look outside. It's starting to warm up and spring is right around the corner. Meteorologist Austin Kopninski is outside and he's got your certified most accurate forecast.
And you know, it really was a pretty nice day outside. The winds weren't nearly as strong as what we saw yesterday, and temperatures were actually a little bit warmer. So overall, really not a bad day. It's still 38 degrees outside and we're still dealing with some sunshine. A little bit of some cloud cover has moved through and we are going to see partly cloudy skies lingering for much of tonight. No precipitation, however. There are a few flurries around Minneapolis, but that's really about it here in our Doppler track. We're going to stay dry yet again here for these overnight hours. Taking a peek at some of our temperatures, middle to upper 30s. It really does feel pretty good outside, especially when you're under some of that sunshine, but the sun's not going to be around for too long, and then we are going to cool things right back down. Thankfully, our wind speeds really stayed on the calmer side of things today, right around 5 miles per hour or less for a lot of our areas. Later on tonight, we have a low of about 17 degrees, so temperatures are going to cool right back down. Partly cloudy skies overnight, but when is that next rain or snow chance? I'll have a look at our extended forecast coming up in a bit.
Thanks so much, Austin. New tonight, a home in the town of Burke has about $150,000 worth of damage in this fire. This happened last night on Rebel Drive. Crews from more than a dozen communities responded. Officials believe this fire started in the back of the home. The homeowner, as well as 2 cats, got out safely. A cause for the fire is still under investigation. And we first told you last night about an apartment fire in Janesville. The Red Cross is helping out at least 8 people after a fire broke out in a building on Laramie Lane. Firefighters say it was sparked by an electrical issue in the hallway. The fire caused about $30,000 worth of damage. Last night's fire wasn't the only fire that the Red Cross responded to this year, and it probably won't be the last. But officials say there have been a lot more recently than in past years.
Yeah, we've had more than 700 people we've helped around the state and the UP. Since the start of 2022, we're trending just about in line where we were last year, which was a 3-year high for us.
Over the past year, the Red Cross says it's finding longer-term housing solutions due to a shortage in the market. Officials say when they do help people out, they give them a debit card so they can take care of the basics and find them help for initial resources. Happening tomorrow, a Madison man charged with killing his sister will appear in court for a sentencing hearing. Joseph Green was found not guilty earlier this month by reason of mental disease or defect. He allegedly shot and killed his sister on Christmas Eve back in 2019. President Biden is coming back to the Badger State. The president and first lady are going to stop by in Superior on Wednesday, one day after he delivers his annual State of the Union address. The White House says he will talk about the $1 trillion infrastructure law. He's looking to give more money to fix Wisconsin's roads and their bridges. Ahead of that State of the Union, a fence is being put back up outside the U.S. Capitol. You're seeing this video from this morning. A group of protesters is planning to drive semi-trucks into the D.C. area this week. National Guard troops and other police officers will be on hand to secure the area. In more local news tonight, just about everyone took up some sort of hobby at the beginning of the pandemic, and one local mom spent the start of quarantine tackling a lifelong dream. Now, 2 years later, it's becoming a reality. Christina Laurie has more.
Laura Ann Bird's life could be about to change.
It's crazy to me that something I wrote at a local coffee shop and then revised and edited at my kitchen table is now being published and put into people's hands.
You know who else wrote their first book at a coffee shop? J.K. Rowling.
I don't really like being in the spotlight.
Like the Harry Potter author, Laura is rather reserved.
For me, I would rather just write the books and then send them out into the world.
A mom with a wild imagination, although hers doesn't involve wizards, only Wisconsin.
I always knew I wanted to write a children's book, so I thought I need to take this moment and build it.
15 years ago, an image of a girl popped into Laura's head. That girl would eventually get a name, Claire, and that idea, a title, Crossing the Pressure Line.
The first time I went up north with my now husband, we crossed that point and he rolled down all the windows and he started yelling, "We're crossing the pressure line. Feel it? There's more oxygen in the air."
For Laura's family, the pressure line is a real place, northern Wisconsin, where 39 crosses Highway 8, just north of Tomahawk.
It's where my husband taught my kids how to fish. It's where I ran into a bear.
Yes, that really happened to Laura. And she took that story and strength back to Madison, where during the pandemic,
I just kind of reached the point where I thought, my gosh, like if I died tomorrow, I wouldn't be satisfied.
She found a publisher, Orange Hat in Waukesha.
While my 3 children were upstairs doing online school every day.
And while her kids were learning at home, Laura was revising her own assignment.
I can't wait for kids to read it.
Now her 254-page debut novel is ready, and Laura is too, anxious for middle grade readers to jump into the Wisconsin world she created.
You cross that point where you can just kind of like, exhale.
No wizards, just Wisconsin. In Madison, Christina Laurie, News 3 Now.
Laura is already working on edits and revisions for a second book. In the meantime, you can find Crossing the Pressure Line starting on Tuesday in many Madison area bookstores. It's a day 14 years in the making. After the break, we're going to take a look inside the renovated Black Holocaust Museum in Milwaukee and find out why it's finally reopening. And tonight at 10, Sun Prairie is extending its EMS services to nearby communities. How officials say this will make a big difference. That's coming up tonight at 10.
You're a hard worker. Provide for your family. Do good things in the community. Help out your neighbors. You've been there for so many others. Now, we're here for you. Your local Wisconsin energy and emergency assistance providers are working together to keep you safely in your home and your heat and power on. Apply now for a hand up.
At Pick and Save, we believe fresh is all about standards. That's why we do up to a 27-point inspection on our produce. Like for oranges, we check for color and scarring and more, keeping only the best of the best on our shelves. Because when it comes to fresh for everyone, we believe the juice is worth the squeeze. Pick and Save, fresh for everyone.
BBB Business Profiles are one of the most complete business listings online. How do I know? I got a new transmission, but it was bad. He refused to make it right. So I filed a complaint, and I saw that BBB Profiles feature an overview, accreditation, customer reviews, and the BBB rating, which takes into account a variety of factors. And now, it's all good. Better Business Bureau. Check before you buy.
Discover what's in store at Habitat Restore Dane County. You'll find something new every time you visit to keep your project on budget with low price and high quality home supplies. For one-of-a-kind items, shop Habitat Restore Dane County today.
Announcing Madison Magazine's Best of Madison 2022. Nominate your favorites online, including Beef Butter Barbecue for Best Barbecue and Best Curbside Pickup and Takeout. Nominate Beef Butter Barbecue today at MadisonMagazine.com.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5:30.
Around the state, America's Black Holocaust Museum is back open to the public for the first time since 2008. Ken Wainscott shows us the large crowd that turned out this weekend in Milwaukee to be the first through the doors.
1, 2, 3.
With that cut, years of anticipation ended, and a new era in Bronzeville began. The rebirth of America's Black Holocaust Museum, opening its doors to the public for the first time in 14 years.
I rode past here for a month saying I can't wait till the 25th. I can't wait.
Carol Cole was among the first visitors through the doors, sharing the history with her 9-year-old daughter, Devana.
This is the way that she'll always be able to see it forever. You know, she'll always be able to come here and witness it, bringing her children and their children.
This would have been the 108th birthday of the museum's founder, Dr. James Cameron. As a teenager, he became the only known survivor of a lynching. Later went on to educate and inspire generations of others. His son Virgil was here to celebrate the reopening.
We did it, and thank you so much.
First-day visitors waited in line before finding themselves captivated by the powerful exhibits.
It's very important to know your history and to where you came from and how to move forward.
I think the spirit of Dr. James Cameron, you can feel it throughout the entire museum.
And the museum's president reflected on both its past and its future.
We're finally here. This day is here.
Did you ever have any doubts that you would get to this point?
No, I never had any doubts. And more importantly, we will never close these doors again.
And get this, a $10 million gift last year from an anonymous donor helped this museum reopen. That donation will also allow the museum to expand. More mild temps are on the way. When we come back, Austin's got a look at your 10-day forecast right after this break.
Can $5 really make change happen?
I'll preview the Big Share Online Day of Giving and what your donations can do for nonprofits here in the 608.
Plus, we're getting you out the door to start your work week and watching the system towards the end of it. That's Monday morning from 4:30 to 7.
Water is one of nature's most beautiful and life-sustaining resources. At no fault of their own, many Wisconsin utility customers are facing a shutoff to their water service. This leaves them without the one life-giving resource we all take for granted. And those hardest hit are on fixed incomes, juggling multiple temporary jobs, or those who lost full-time jobs in sectors hardest hit by the pandemic. If someone you care about needs a hand up, your local Wisconsin energy and emergency rental assistance providers are working together to keep you safely in your home and your water, heat, and power on. If you are in danger of losing your water service, call 833-H2O-WISC, 833-426-9472. You may not ask for it, but we're here to help.
He should have used his power to serve Wisconsin. Instead, Ron Johnson served himself. An investigation found that Ron Johnson pushed through a special tax loophole that benefited his own family's business. After the loophole became law, Ron Johnson cashed out of the company for $5 million. Ron Johnson has doubled his wealth since taking office. Look up the facts and tell Ron Johnson to stop passing tax laws that benefit himself.
When you switch to Spectrum Mobile, you get unlimited for $29.99 a month per line for 2 or more lines. That means unlimited nationwide 5G and the most reliable service coast to coast, all for $29.99. But do people really want that? Oh, yeah. Should I jump on, take a couple?
Yeah, are you trained?
No, but I have a lovely phone voice.
I don't think that counts.
Okay. Fair enough. Join the millions who have already switched. Get unlimited data for only $29.99. Call, click, or visit a Spectrum store today.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5:30.
Oh, we were just looking at the polar bears.
Who doesn't love a polar bear? The Henry Vilas Zoo celebrated them on International Polar Bear Polar Bear Day this afternoon. The celebration included games and keeper chats. Families were able to learn about the effects of climate change and conservation of polar bears, which officials say inspired this entire event.
So that's our biggest goal here, is to get that connection between people and our bears and have them start to learn about the wild polar bears and what can be done to help them.
Polar Bear Day is a part of a series of conservation days held at the zoo throughout the year. The days are focused on raising awareness for different kinds of animals and learning what we can do to help them. Austin, you a big polar bear guy? Are you a big fan of the Arctic polar bear?
I do love a good polar bear. I'm just an animal lover in general, but my apartment doesn't allow me to own any, but that'll change soon. And, we're going to stay quiet here for much of this next week. So really, again, not too much to talk about in terms of weather here for these next few days. The 40s are going to return and a few precipitation chances, especially late next week, but there's also a few very small chances right around the middle portion of this next week. Most of us are just going to completely dodge that, however. Doppler track, it does look great yet again. Very similar to what we saw last night, and there's just nothing happening right now. So taking a big step back, and most of our surrounding states are also looking pretty remarkably dry as of right now. The dry conditions are going to persist here for quite some time. Taking a look at our future track, however, it does show those upper teens and lower 20s to start things out tomorrow morning. Then for the afternoon, the 30s and 40s are going to return. Some lower 40s looking very likely there for the afternoon tomorrow. We are going to see a bit of cloud cover for some of our northern communities, but still quite a bit of some sunshine overall, so a pretty nice day there. But then jumping to Tuesday, this is one of our very few models that's actually showing some precipitation for some of our northern communities. I'm just not buying it as of right now. A lot of our other models are keeping us dry currently, so I do think that most likely we're going to stay dry there on Tuesday. Just a slim potential to see some light rain or snow showers for some of our northernmost communities, but the temperatures still looking to jump back up into those 40s. So we're going to see quite a few of the 40s in our extended forecast. What I'm watching out for right now is late in the day on Friday, and especially jumping into Saturday, a chance to see an afternoon rain shower on Friday, a better chance to see those rain showers moving through on Saturday. But look at how high up to the north that rain snow line is. I don't think there's really a great chance for us to pick up quite a bit of some snowfall here with this one. We're likely not going to see a lot of snow. Now, our high temperature trend does stay a little bit warmer than average here. We're going to see those mid-30s and quite a few 40s as well towards our extended forecast. So I'm very much so looking forward to that. Our extended forecast does show those rain chances near the end of the week. A slim potential to actually see a very light snow shower overnight with that low of about 32 degrees. Afterwards, we do have another chance of a rain or snow shower on that Monday, but nothing really major is on the horizon right now here for us. So we're looking at some pretty good conditions, and that rain chance here right now, it's just looking like quite a few rain showers moving through, which we've all been through, and we can handle those again.
Yeah, and I mean, we might start to cut off the sleeves here, get into the spring season.
Yeah, it's getting there. Those mid-40s, I mean, we're pretty much talking shorts weather once we hit mid-40s.
Shorts weather is back.
That's right.
All right, thanks so much, Austin. Badgers are coming back atop the Big Ten. Now they turn their focus to a top 15 showdown. We got more coming up in sports.
Deserve stylish and quality furniture. So I'm calling all Bobs to help get the word out. Like this, Bob. Me. Bob's has the everyday values you deserve without a single phony sale or gimmick. Like my complete 5-piece Tremont bedroom set, only $9.99. My Blake dining set with 6 chairs or 4 chairs and a storage bench, only $5.99. My Lux sectional, all 4 pieces, only $19.99. And of course, my state-of-the-art Bobapedic Prize Queen mattress, only $5.99. Shop what's in stock, in store, or at mybobs.com.
You're a hard worker. Provide for your family. Do good things in the community. Help out your neighbors. You've been there for so many others. Now, we're here for you. Your local Wisconsin energy and emergency assistance providers are working together to keep you safely in your home and your heat and power on. Apply now for a hand up.
There's a reason big dental bills often come as a shock, because sometimes you don't realize what's not covered until you get the bill. That's why affordable dental insurance from Physicians Mutual is important. It can give you benefits that go beyond what you get from more limited coverage plans. Because no one likes a big dental bill, especially if you're retired or on a fixed income. For a free information kit, call or go online now. This isn't some discount plan or preventive-only coverage. This is real dental insurance that helps cover over 350 procedures, like cleanings, fillings, crowns, bridges, root canals, even dentures, at any dentist you want. Dental insurance from Physicians Mutual Insurance Company helps cover preventive care, basic work, and major procedures, with no deductibles and no annual maximum. For your free information kit with all the details, call now or visit sendinfokit.com.
Physicians Mutual, Physicians Mutual. How local efforts are helping launch the next weather satellite, tonight at 10.
The Wisconsin men's basketball team is coming home with more than just a win. The Badgers secured the top spot in the Big Ten yesterday and now just need one more dub to clinch the conference crown. And that could come as early as Tuesday when the Badgers host 4th-ranked Purdue. Now, these teams couldn't have had more opposite Saturdays. Boilermakers got upset by Michigan State off a late-game triple, and Wisconsin handed Rutgers a loss in their home arena with a lot of help from Johnny Davis and Chucky Hepburn. The Badgers improved to 14-1 on the season in games that are decided by 6 points or less. Now the focus shifts to the top 15 battle on Tuesday night. And speaking of Purdue and Wisconsin going head-to-head, the Badger women's team closes out the regular season against the Boilermakers. This one comes down to the final seconds. 13 on the clock. Janae Terry goes off the glass to put Purdue up by 1. While Haley Douglas runs it back, lays it in for the lead, and Brooke Schramick denies the Boilermakers as time expires. Another Sunday success for the red and white. They win it 63-62. Next up is the Big Ten tourney. Wisconsin women's hockey is really good about flipping the switch when it comes to those high-stake games. The Badgers opened the WCHA playoffs with a sweep of Bemidji State, and now for the 12th straight season, they are heading to the final face-off. Their first game is set for Saturday at 4 against conference rival Ohio State. Now, the Badgers had a rough go with the Buckeyes just last week, ending the regular season on a sour note. But if the Badgers get that dub on Saturday, they'll advance to the final face-off championship on Sunday. Final round of the Color Guard Classic. Jerry Kelly made some moves up the leaderboard in the second round to enter today. 2 shots off the lead, and it was a solid day for Kelly. He starts off with a birdie and sinks the putt on 12 for his second of the final round. Despite no bogeys, Kelly finishes 4th at 11 under overall, and Miguel Angel Jimenez wins this year's Cologuard Classic. The meetings continue as the deadline for Major League Baseball looms. Players and owners met again for the 7th straight day. Reports indicate that they are still far from a resolve. If a deal isn't reached by tomorrow, any plans for opening day to be March 31st and to have a normal and full schedule, that goes out the window. And if there was no lockout, the Brew Crew would be in action today.
That's the sad thing about it, is it doesn't just affect, obviously, the fans that are involved, but it affects the people that are going to be working the concession stands.
There's a lot of factors going into that.
Yeah.
And actually, when I was going through Twitter today, looking at, obviously, because Major League Baseball is trending, you can hear fans just like outside of these spring training complexes just saying, we want baseball. Right. So fingers crossed that something can develop before tomorrow.
Please,
yes.
baseball, figure it out. Get in a room, let's figure it out. All right, thanks, Jordan. We're going to be right back.
Business profiles are one of the most complete business listings online. How do I know? I got a new transmission, but it was bad. He refused to make it right. So I filed a complaint, and I saw that BBB profiles feature an overview, accreditation, customer reviews, and the BBB rating, which takes into account a variety of factors. And now it's all good. Better Business Bureau. Check before you buy.
Step into the new when you drive a Chevy. It's time for a fresh approach and a new perspective. Meet new friends or reconnect with some old ones and find the Chevy that's right for you. Find new experiences, find new roads. Step into the new with a new Chevy. Very well qualified buyers can get 0% financing on most Chevy vehicles. Plus, on select models, current Chevy owners get an additional $750 bonus cash. Chevrolet, the #1 selling brand in Wisconsin.
Water is one of nature's most beautiful and life-sustaining resources. At no fault of their own, many Wisconsin utility customers are facing a shutoff to their water service. This leaves them without the one life-giving resource we all take for granted. And those hardest hit are on fixed incomes, juggling multiple temporary jobs, or those who lost full-time jobs in sectors hardest hit by the pandemic. If someone you care about needs a hand up, your local Wisconsin energy and emergency rental assistance providers are working together to keep you safely in your home and your water, heat, and power on. If you are in danger of losing your water service, call 833-H2O-WISC, 833-426-9472. You may not ask for it, but we're here to help.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5:30.
Signs of normalcy last night in New Orleans as a bunch of floats paraded down the city as part of Mardi Gras celebrations. The pandemic canceled most events over the past 2 years, but thousands of people packed the parade route last night. It's estimated that about 15 million beads are thrown along the parade route, which ends at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. Goodness gracious!
Wow.
We gotta go there someday. You and me. We're gonna make it to Mardi Gras someday.
Honestly,
Austin.
It's another thing that's on my bucket list. I mean, just during that time frame that Mardi Gras is happening, it's an experience that's unlike anything else. So I gotta get there sometime.
I was gonna say, it looks like it was pretty nice weather too for it. So
it did.
And
yeah.
Apparently we're getting some more of the same of that here.
We really are. I mean, tonight we're gonna stay dry yet again. Partly cloudy skies. It is gonna be quite cold there with that low of about 17 degrees. But then you jump onto our extended forecast, and we do have some slim potential to actually see a few flurries here, especially early in the morning there on Wednesday and late in the day on Thursday, but that really is not going to amount to anything. Our next real chance for precipitation looks to be late in the day on Friday and mainly Saturday as of right now, and that looks to fall as rain.
All right, Austin, thanks so much, and thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you tonight at 10.